Ariel Helwani in Las Vegas, just days away now from UFC 160 alongside Junior Dos Santos, who faces Mark Hunt this Saturday night live on pay-per-view. And Junior, it's good to see you again. You know, it was kind of close. We didn't know if Mark would get here. Were you nervous you wouldn't get a fight on Saturday night?
Yeah, I was a little bit nervous, you know. Everything what I asked for UFC is if he couldn't come, I would like to fight anyone else, any other opponent, you know. But I'm glad he got his visa because I did my whole camp thinking about him, you know. I made my strategy thinking about him, so I'm glad he's able to fight.
Did the UFC tell you about backup plans? We heard of Roy Nelson maybe. Did they talk to you about what they would do if he couldn't come to the US?
Yeah, they said they have somebody to put in the place of Mark Hunt, you know, but not too much. You know, they don't talk too much about that. They were very confident they could take the Mark Hunt visa.
What's it like being back here? Last time you were here, obviously it wasn't a good night for you. Do you get those memories back when you're here? What's it like for you?
No, I don't get those memories back. You know, I think I already fought so many times here in Vegas. I like it a lot. I like Vegas a lot. And well, I don't let this what happens in the last fight happen again. So I'm coming very motivated for this fight. You know I have a tough opponent in front of me, but what I want is fight for the title again. So I'm thinking about studying and thinking about Mark Hunt, and everything what I want is beat him.
We are just steps away from Cain Velasquez, right over there to your left. The belt is right over there. Your belt, it was on your waist just a few months ago. Is that hard for you to look at him over there and see that belt not next to you?
No, it's not hard. I think it's a beautiful belt. But he did a good job. He did a good job, and he deserves. You know, he's a good champion. I think so.
How long did it take for you to recover? Because we saw those pictures of you after the fight. Your face was pretty beat up. How long did it take for you to get back to 100%?
Well, 10 days after the fight, I was 100%. You know, because I didn't get cut and anything like that. You know, I just were very swollen. You know, but I didn't have cuts and things like that. Nothing broke. So yeah, was fast.
There were some reports out of Brazil that you were dealing with a lot of personal things going into the fight. How much did that affect you when you fought Cain the second time?
Well, that didn't affect me. You know, my personal things. I don't bring my personal things to inside the octagon. You know, after the fight, they were in the hospital. They said I was overtraining. You know, so but I didn't know. I was feeling okay. You know, for the fight. And yeah, things happen, and now I learned a lot from that, and now I did a better camp. You know, now I have a physiologist with me all the time, checking my blood, and you know, and I have a nutritionist and a big crew, you know, taking care of me. And I think now if I say I'm 100%, I can prove that.
Before you didn't have this big crew?
No.
So what's the biggest lesson you learned from that experience as champion now that you're going to try to use as you go and chase for the belt again?
Well, I learned a lot, and I'm still learning. You know, but I think the most important was you have to use all your weapons, you know, to win a fight. You have to be able to change your strategies during the fight, and you know, because it's everything about to win. You know. If you can knock the guy out, you try to submit the guy. If you can't submit the guy, you have to win by points. That's it.
Do you expect to fight for the belt if you win on Saturday?
Yeah, I expect. That's what I want, you know, and I hope that happens.
Are you rooting for Cain to beat Bigfoot so that you can get another shot against him?
No, I'm rooting for Bigfoot Silva. I won my rematch with Cain so bad, man. But at this time, I will be rooting for Bigfoot Silva because he's my friend and he's a good person. I know him personally, and he's a really cool guy. You know, he has a good family, and I think he deserves to be champion.
And you will fight him. You're okay with that?
Even if I have to fight him.
Finally, how do you expect this fight to play out? We know what he does. Lately, he's been showing some ground game, but we know what he likes to do, stand on his feet. How do you expect it to play out on Saturday?
Yeah, I think he has to use his power. I think he got a lot of power to finish the fight, you know, and don't give space for Cain. You know, you can't give space for Cain Velasquez. You have to put pressure on him, and I think he's gonna do that.
Sorry, man. How do you expect your fight to play out on Saturday against Mark Hunt?
Well, I think I'll do everything to knock him out. You know, I really believe. I know this guy have a hard chin. You know, he's got knockout power in his hands, but I believe so much in myself, and I like to be positive. You know, and I already saw myself knock him out a lot of times. You know, but for sure it's MMA. If I feel I have to take him down, I will do that.
All right, we look forward to it. Thank you very much, Junior, and good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.